Welcome, everybody, once again to the Creators Podcast. We are joined today by the illustrious Johnny and Garrett. Round of applause for Johnny and Garrett.
Clap for ourselves. Thanks
You
for
guys
having
made
us.
it. Hey, no problem. How are you guys?
Thank you for having
Doing
us.
so good.
We're so excited.
We're excited. First off, congrats on the new baby, puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not baby puppy. Puppy 100%.
Puppy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Sheepadoodle.
Shibadoodle. Her name is Ro.
She's so cute.
She is a handful for sure.
Yeah, she's a biter.
We have like marks all over our arms from her. But she's been really sweet.
She's a cute puppy.
Yeah.
I remember you asking on your Instagram story, like, what was it? Whether or not you should get her?
Yeah, it was whether or not
okay.
we should get her. And she's definitely a good birth control for now. We're like,
Oh my gosh.
she's enough kid for us for a while.
That's like the only reason. That's like the only reason we made it 4 years
See?
without having a baby. It's because of puppy.
So, puppy. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's how most people are starting.
She's a little terrorist sometimes, but the like 10 minutes we get of her being sweet is fun for the day.
That's
We're looking
fun.
forward to the day that she wants to start cuddling
Yeah.
and not bite.
Maybe one.
Is she a
Oh, it's
Craigslist
kinda
dog?
like
Because our dog's a Craigslist
No.
dog.
She's not.
Ours is like
I don't think you can get
ours
sheepadoodles
is
on
like a
Craigslist.
breeder dog. I feel bad because we're not the like shop or adopt don't shop. We're just the shop
Yeah.
people. So
Well,
we
Sorry
we
to
bought it
everyone
us,
that
yeah.
believes
We
that.
bought her from a breeder. We went to Utah.
We
to
got a
get
nice
her.
designer dog.
Yeah, she's a designer doodle. That's what we call her. So
I mean, you get the cutest dogs that way. Sorry to everyone that's
Yeah,
offended.
sorry.
All 50 of you that's offended.
Sorry.
That watch. They get cuter dogs that way.
She's really cute though. So
We love all
That's
dogs.
fine.
yeah, we love all
Yeah, all
dogs.
dogs are
but
great.
Ours is better than yours.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean,
Wow.
dogs aren't people. It's like the more you pay for them, the better. dog you're gonna
Exactly.
That's the hope.
Yeah, if we have an ugly dog, we just won't talk about it in
Right.
like 6 months once we can
Right.
finally see her adult look.
Oh, man.
get. Cool.
So funny.
So you guys, obviously, wedding photographers, and this is your full-time thing, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. Both of us.
And
are
it has
full-time.
been since you guys started.
Not since we started.
Mostly for her.
Yeah, for me.
I actually just joined her full time recently.
It's actually been like 6 months. I was talking about that last night. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's recent though.
Yeah, it's recent. But 6 months just flew by.
Yeah, I had a part-time job at a coffee shop. Recently joined her, and it's been super awesome.
We love it.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's what I was talking about even the other week. Is that so? I assume you had the interest in photography first.
No.
Oh, you didn't? Garrett
Yeah,
did.
we actually
both, like,
came, together.
Equally together.
So ours is a little bit unique in the sense that we essentially started together,
From like day one.
and also sort of fell into it by accident.
Huh.
We both had. I had a degree in something else, and she was going to school for music, and then we both kind of decided to continue education for
Sorry.
something new, and we both had to take a photo course, and so we decided to take it together.
that's cute.
And we were just dating at this time, and she had a camera before, and she
I thought it was a
she
photographer. but it
dabbled.
wasn't. I was
But
pretty bad.
yeah, we basically got cameras before the class, started self-teaching ourselves everything, and loving it, and then by the time the class ended, we were just like, let's start a business, and we
We really
did.
loved
So
it.
Wow.
We ended up dropping out of college and
yeah.
started our business.
Smart. Wait, what year was that? Or do you remember like,
That
how
was-
long ago?
What's on
5 years ago. So,
Oh, was it?
because we've been together 5.5, so how 18, 17, 16, 2013?
Smart.
2013. Yeah,
2013.
I think so.
I was still on my mission then. I didn't even understand. I didn't even understand really because you were into photography. We talked about this too back in like 2010 with like your little Rebel
Yeah.
and stuff. And I always kind of make fun of her because had she kept it going, look, it's been 8 years.
It was like when photography was like that. Editing was
Yes.
really like vignette and like
And you took a
really
photography
like
class.
saturated.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like lots of vignette, lots of saturation. You used to put like cute little like back when there was like really Tuscany was like a thing, like Tuscany kind of filters over it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I love
And I
it.
just kind of, I don't know, didn't love it anymore. I
Mhm.
kind of just gave up. I don't know. I should have kept going, but gave up.
When did you guys start together?
For
It's all Kyle.
oh,
Let's just say that.
I kind of preface that on my website is that anyone that goes on there, like on the About Me page, it just has my name, and then I say like I'm sure you're wondering, why the website or why the company name is only my name. it's because I do everything. I mean, there's no way around it.
Fair enough.
Support
I
him.
love it.
I thought about changing it to Kyle and Michaela, but you know, and
doesn't really make sense.
for marketing purposes, because a lot of people when they actually inquire me, like, "Hey, Kyle, Michaela, we love your work. Like, how'd you even know about Michaela?
Yeah.
Like, my name's on everything."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think they read the About Me page, and I think they like find it probably cuter that way. And she does come and she does help out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't edit. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
the master behind everything, really.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
cool,
I try.
though.
But I mean, it's nice that for at least you guys, the work is like shared amongst
Yeah.
you both.
Yeah, we have our roles that we kind of each take
I
care
think,
of, and
especially because we're married, I mean, we're able to like figure out where we're gonna be best in just different areas of. Oh shit.
It's all
I
good.
hit it. We were able to just figure out where we'll like do best in different areas because I mean we're married, we know literally everything about each other and our strengths and weaknesses, so helps a lot.
Yeah. When we shot together, I think I noticed you know a lot about posing. Was that safe to say? You're like the posing master between you two?
I direct everything.
Yes.
You direct everything.
Yeah, so I think just from the very beginning, one of us like, because we literally like learned everything very quickly. So from the very beginning, it was like one of us was gonna have to figure out how to do directing, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'm more outgoing. I'll give it a try.
yeah, she's much more extroverted than I am.
Yeah.
And
So I learned as much as I could. Like I would write little notes in like my bag and like leave them in there, and it took a long time and a lot of practice. But now it's like second nature. But that's my main role. Anytime we're with like couples and always directing, and then I can rely on him too to like make sure he's getting his shots in focus and that we'll have like exactly what we need, because a lot of times I'm like so
yeah, she goes pretty quick, and
yeah.
I jump in sometimes, and I'm trying to get better at it just because I need to be, and it's important. But
yeah.
she does a good job, and I let her.
I mean, I personally find it hard to direct just because that's not really. I mean, majority of the time, nine times out of 10, no one's really ever looked to me to direct anything as a videographer.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't even really look at me, kind of thing. So I definitely understand to that point. It's just like, even when I have to direct, it's like, oh snap, this is like something that's totally new to me, kind of thing. Because like, did you find that nerve-wracking to begin with?
At first, it was like I said, I would like write notes, like what I would need to say, and like I'd like draw pictures of like the poses that I'd want them to do, and I would either just like pull it up on my phone or whatever when we like had a break. But I never wanted it to look like I was like relying on like a piece of paper the whole time. But it was like memorizing things in my head and knowing like, I think the easiest thing for me is like having a flow of like, you start in one spot and how to like get people's bodies to end up in like a certain spot over maybe like a half hour. So, I don't know. It was just it's been literally 3 years of me like learning what's best. And I still learn new things all the time with posing and like interacting with people. That just helps with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think too, just me being a girl, I can like tell people like, "Oh my god, you look so hot!" And like,
Dude.
if Garrett was
It's
to say that
weird,
to a
dude.
bride,
I'm
the
like,
groom
"So
might be like, "Wait,
cute."
what?"
No, and that's just kind of my humor when I'm there. Is that like, the photographer, who's majority of the time a woman, will be like, "You're so cute, you're so awesome, this is perfection," and I usually just kind of make a joke out of it because I'm not like that, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna pretend to
Yeah,
be like that.
well, that's
Yeah.
kind of with Garrett too.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's awkward. Yeah.
it's a little more uncomfortable for
But
me.
yeah, so I'll just be like, I would say that you're beautiful too, but I'm a dude, so
Yeah.
and you usually get a laugh out of it, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I feel like the word perfect is like so overly used. Not overly
You
used,
look
but used so much.
perfect.
Perfect. This is perfect.
I do it
You're
all the
perfect.
time. Oh, I do it all the time.
Again, not to say that it's overly used. I
No,
feel like
it's
I hear it a
overused,
lot.
for
I just say awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Fantastic.
I'm like, oh, awesome. It's great.
One thing I learned from a workshop I took was if you are able to bring confidence to your couples the entire time they're shooting, like that's the goal. So even if like they have like double chins all over the place in a certain pose, like if it doesn't look the way you're wanting, still tell them how amazing they looked and then move on to the next one, because the goal is that they feel awesome no matter what they're doing. And so that I focused on that a lot this year. Like whenever I would, sometimes you just put somebody in a pose and or directed them in a certain way and it just didn't turn out right. And then you look at it in the camera and you're like, oh, that wasn't right. But I've learned that like
Don't tell them.
Don't
that.
tell them. Like, don't react to
Just
it
keep
looking bad.
moving.
Just be like, awesome, that was great. Let's try this.
Oh.
And I've seen that help a ton. Just like knowing
Yeah, you don't want to
that-
be like, oh, I don't like that.
yeah.
Or like, oh, that doesn't look good.
It looks bad. Let's move you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to know, like, oh shit, I looked bad. They always want to feel like they were like the most incredible person in the room.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
That's
helps
smart.
a lot.
That is really smart.
See that I think I talked about this the other day too. I think I gotta kind of steer away from like my awkward humor because if something doesn't usually good, like let's do a take two, and it's like majority of the time they kind of laugh it off and stuff, and I just like pretend I'm this like director and stuff. But I like that tip, just like that looks great. You know what? We're gonna do it again.
Yes,
Kinda
and see,
thing.
it's like
Or-
even if it does look bad, like
Yeah.
they don't need to know.
Okay.
Or if it didn't turn out right the first time, like for you with video, I think like we just have them do things
Let's do it
multiple
again
times.
to be safe.
So
like,
we do a lot of walking or like running towards the camera, like things like that. And sometimes they might run really awkwardly or something. We'll say like, all right, like do it with like bigger jumps or longer legs,
yeah, it's always
Um,
correcting them in a way that's like
make it
more positive.
better. Yeah.
I swear it works miracles.
That's cool. When it has come to you guys' different ways of posing people, did you feel like you learned that a lot through like workshops or just kind of like brainstorming
I learned it from just like research.
research? It's like a lot of research.
And then trial and error.
Mhm.
So
Back in the day, we bought like a posing guide
was so-
video thing.
it
And
was
it had
so
some good.
cheeseball now that we look at it.
Yeah, but it had some
it
good
had
points.
some really good tips.
It had a lot of like the base poses, like the V and like all these different things, like of how to set them up and like start them, and then you kind of like can direct them to move their hands and things from there.
Yeah, so if it was like instead of having people say like straight forward, like angle them a little bit in towards each other, so then like you already have a connection there, and then build off of that. So that was how we first that was the first thing ever that we kind of like started figuring out, and we'd use that a lot. But then
Mostly just looking at inspiration
yeah,
and finding
inspiration
it.
photos and then we would do free shoots, and like the whole time it just took off that pressure of like knowing that they were paying for it,
Right.
and that you like if you messed up the whole thing, then like you didn't
it
pay
was
for
free.
it, so it was free. So
Yeah.
you hoped that you didn't, and we never did.
Mm-hmm.
But it always took that pressure away where we knew that we could like explore a little bit
Right.
and try new things.
And everyone benefits that way because
Yeah.
the people that are getting pictures like are essentially getting either like mid to really great pictures.
Yeah,
for
and they have
free.
no idea.
Yeah.
They think that they're going to be awesome in the end either way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then just trial and error was like the biggest thing with directing. I like to call it directing because we always tell our clients we're never really going to it's not like posing you. It's always going to be putting you into a situation, and then we'll direct you guys to make moments occur. So we always tell our clients, like, we'll never have you guys look in the camera except for maybe a few times when we say it's your photo from mom and dad.
That's like my role.
Yeah, and it's that's the big thing with our work. Like, we want people to feel like we're capturing in between things, not just those posed moments from like traditional weddings and whatnot.
Yeah, because at Keisha's wedding, I noticed that so much of it looks so good just because of how you had them posed like already. Because like you notice as we were like going along,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is a great pose. I don't really feel like directing them to do kind of anything else
Yeah.
because they're already doing such a good
Yeah.
job, and they had really great chemistry together. They were super.
They're so awesome.
Yeah,
They're
they're
super
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think I've geeked out about their wedding like every single time someone's been
Seriously.
on here, and I'll say
It was such a beautiful wedding.
it was awesome. It's all over my website. It's like we talk about it all the time. Like Keisha, like you're just an all-star. You're just all over my website, and you're just like you're probably not gonna come off. She's like, it better not come off.
Yes,
See,
you
with
can't.
that, like Keisha and Tony are a couple where they always have incredible chemistry, and I think that was something that we've learned over time is when you're needing to like practice on directing a couple or whatnot, try to find a couple that like naturally is cool with being in front of the camera, who naturally like they have a really incredible time together. They're really outgoing or whatnot, and I think that helps a lot to build your own confidence too. To be like, okay, well, I jump all over him and kiss on him a bunch, and if they're like, cool, that's awesome, I love that. Some people might be like, well, I'm not comfortable with that, and then obviously that's gonna be harder to learn, you know. So
Yeah, because you guys have to deal a lot with like people.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really have to deal with people really that much at all, because you're directing, you're kind of finding what preferences they want to have when it comes to posing, when it comes to, and you're in charge of timeline. Like if the timeline's not going as planned in a wedding, like it's like
rough.
what's the photographer doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to keep it on track.
Because if we fall off time, it can affect what we end up capturing throughout the day.
Right.
Because
We can't afford to miss, important things.
like
Yeah.
if we
We always tell them like we're kind of like your second and third planner, basically up until the reception, because we're like, all right, come on, like
You're
we gotta
almost-
keep going.
I would say you guys are like more the planner than the planner on the day.
A lot of
we
the
have,
time,
we have to help a lot
Yeah.
with making sure like with our photos, so we're natural light photographers, and like everything is based off of sunset time, and so we have to coordinate everything like around that sunset time, because that's when we want to do their portraits. All of our work reflects that, having that sunset session on a wedding day, and if we don't get that, then we might not be able to give them the portraits that we're hoping for. So it's just being really involved and making sure that just creating a good relationship with like any other vendors, and making sure that you can all just help each other out. We're all there to like make the same thing happen well.
Right.
So as long as you can, I don't know, maintain the relationships.
Right. So you guys are one of the, I don't want to say few, because I honestly don't follow or know everyone that does a lot of traveling photography, but you guys do a lot of traveling for your work.
We
Yes.
do.
How did you guys like get into that start? Or was that like something that you wanted to get into when you started photography, was doing a lot of traveling?
we knew we wanted to travel when we started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we ever
Um,
thought it would be like as realistic as it is now. It definitely,
Awesome.
like, when
Especially
we
not
very
as
first
quickly.
started, yeah.
And the way we got into that is just by traveling. So we would, I don't know if we had any actual like paid traveling shoots right up front or not, but if we had like a vacation planned or something like that, we would just reach out to couples in the area. Like she was really good at stalking on Instagram and finding people, and she would just find people and be like, hey, like we're gonna be in the area, like do you want to do a shoot? And just by posting content of us traveling, got all the inquiries to start coming in and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think our first destination wedding was a referral. It was that one in Colorado.
That one may have been, yeah.
And that was awesome, because we were like freaking out. We were like, oh my god, we actually got a destination client. But that was just from another photographer here, I think, who had referred us.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, that gave us the opportunity to finally post that we traveled. And so, yeah, just, and like tagging locations on Instagram, I think is huge. Because,
Like just recently, she tagged a picture from Seattle
oh yeah.
like a few months ago or whatever. And I had multiple people reach out and like, hey, you guys in Seattle right now? And I was like,
and we were
no,
in
but
Seattle like
Can
2
be.
months before.
But if people are thinking that, then great. And we find that like if you're not posting things online, like travel, then we don't
People
get the
don't.
inquiries for
Right.
it. You know, it goes back to like when we first started. We had second shot. We only second shot like 2 weddings, and we didn't really put them online. But when we first started getting inquiries, we would be, I don't know, we didn't disclose we were brand new.
Yeah.
And so
Smart.
we would get inquiries and they'd be like, well, do you have any like wedding photos? And we'd be like, well, you're kind of the first. But then once we finally booked a few and started showing, those photos, there's no doubt, because we definitely
Yeah.
lost a few clients in the beginning, which
for that
makes
reason.
sense.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And
I would have been like, okay, see you later.
Oh, okay, that's
Thanks for the
yeah. But then also like we started posting traveling stuff, and then we started getting all sorts
Yeah.
of travel inquiries, and
Yeah.
it's cool. So
That is super cool. Just because I've received only a couple to go out of the state. I haven't gone out of state just yet, but I think that what you're saying is right. I think as soon as your feed kind of reflects, when you hustle hard enough to have your feed reflect that you do kind of do a lot of traveling,
Yeah.
California, or even those small little things that you guys did to begin with, then it starts to come. Is that fair
Yeah.
to say?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think people want, if they're gonna bring you to their state, they just want to know that you have that experience, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, even if it's like this photo right here is from San Diego, and we get tons of inquiries for this location now from this wedding. And I think people just want to know and be confident that you can shoot where they want to bring you. Because, I mean, why not?
Right.
It's their wedding day. They're going to want to have someone who knows what they're doing. So,
Right.
Mhm.
You guys' work ethic is better than mine, just because if we were to go to San Diego, because we have a San Diego trip planned next month, I just feel like the last thing I'd want to do is like work and like video someone.
I'm a workaholic.
Yeah, she loves working. She's the one that will set those up. Like I always enjoy them. They're super fun and well worth it, especially for portfolio and
Yeah.
things like that.
And you can write stuff off for taxes.
Ooh.
There you go. See, if you're going to San
The whole
Diego,
trip.
but then you do a shoot there,
You can write some of that off.
now it's tax
There you
exempt.
go.
So, so that's just one perk. However, she is definitely better at setting
I love
those up.
doing it.
But for us, I mean, it's only a couple hours of work on your vacation, and
And it's fun.
then you got some awesome content. You meet some cool people.
One thing we always realize is we'd be in these awesome places and be like, oh, we wish we had a couple here right now. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
landscape
That's-
photos are
that's
fine,
funny.
but we love doing like couple shoots in awesome places. That's
Mhm.
I don't know. That's just what we prefer, and so
When
I
it
mean,
came,
it's fun.
oh sorry, when it came to like booking people, like for example, out of state, did you guys get a head start, or at least made it more easy to book you with like decreased travel fees or no travel fees and stuff like that?
Yeah. So the first maybe like
Right.
6 months of booking destination weddings was a discounted travel fee.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we needed the portfolio.
Right.
We needed to know that
Mhm.
we could,
Right.
the people knew we were traveling. And a lot of people will say, like, don't discount your travel. And now we don't discount our travel.
Mhm.
But if you're building a portfolio and
It's
if you're
like-
new, then don't let anybody tell you that. Like, you need to do what you need to do to build your
Like
business.
if you want to go there for the cost of an Arizona wedding and not charge travel, you know, some people are going to do that, and you have to. Otherwise, you might not ever get out of the state. But once you do have that content, like we said, you can feel more confident and charge travel fees and not feel
Right.
guilty about it. So
But I think one thing that's kind of tricky with pricing with travel weddings is a lot of people will say, like, I'll do it for free. Just pay for my ticket there.
Yeah.
And we never did that. It was always, we'll discount your travel because we'd love to shoot a wedding out here. But it was never a situation where we'd do a free wedding.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because photographers, you have to value yourself.
mhm.
Yeah. That's like the theme of like I think that's part of the reason why, 'cause, again, videography is just kind of like an up and coming thing. And every time I've gotten like an inquiry for a traveling thing, it's like, I'll discount the travel fee, obviously, but I'm not going to just go for
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose out. I'm not
You
going to go
can't.
in the negative to go to
Well,
your
you have
wedding.
to make
Exactly.
a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what we do
Kinda
to make a living, and I've been in like the arts my entire life. So
Mhm.
one thing I've always noticed is people might not they might not see the value as easily in something that's art as maybe just another kind of service.
Right.
So they might easily say, like, oh, well, if we're bringing you here, like, you can discount us like a lot, right? But you have to remember, like, this is still your way of living. This
Right.
is your job.
Right.
It's your career, and you're worth being paid.
Would you say that that's like a problem with the people going just to go without
Mhm.
It's
I think with established photographers, and
it's hard.
there's a whole like
It's gonna
people
bring down
will battle on that.
it's
but
just going to bring it down for
It
everyone
brings
else.
down the
It
market.
does.
So
Mhm.
I
and
mean,
it's realistically, it's not going to stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like it to, and make it fair for everyone, you know, but it's not going to stop. And
I mean, it's awesome that photographers do get to travel and like go to really cool places, and but it is hard when you have like maybe somebody's like has a referral and it's for a wedding in Hawaii, and somebody says, oh, well, I'll do it for free, just pay for my flight, and then we're over here
Yeah.
saying like, well, here's our packages and our travel cost. Most likely that client
'Cause
is going to choose the cheaper one.
Because the person that needs to make a living is never going to be able to compete to the person that's just
Yeah.
going to go for free
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
time, and there's always
Yeah.
going to be that person.
yeah,
And I think that the biggest thing is there's different people that have different priorities, I think, for their wedding.
Mhm.
And some couples might be okay with having maybe a less experienced photographer at a cheaper price, and that's awesome. Like, if that's what's best for your wedding, then that's great. But there are clients that might choose to hire on maybe a higher budget photographer and pay for their travel cost. So there's different couples, I think, for every stage
Yeah.
of photography.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, you experience it just every year, like as you progress in your business,
Mhm.
what, how different pricing affects just the way your business runs, and
Yeah.
the way you bring in different couples, and it's not like there's a right or a wrong way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I think when we first started, it was more like budget brides and people that are shopping around, rather than now we feel we get a lot more people that hire us for our work,
For work,
rather than for what we
not
cost.
for a
Which is
price.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, now that you guys are here, this is a recording. One of the things that I wanted to, because we talk about Keisha's wedding a lot, and so that story in and of itself is actually pretty funny, because you got a hold of me, and I kind of want to know your backstory on that, and then we'll tell your own backstory of what was going on with us at the time.
How the heck
Yeah,
did I even
That's right.
find you?
I don't know.
I probably Instagram
Instagram?
stalked you, to be
Probably.
honest.
That's cool.
I
what
think
it
I remember
always
you
is.
saying that at her wedding.
I think
like,
that's what it was. I
Yeah.
think she needed a videographer last minute.
Right.
And she was like, well, maybe I'll just hire a friend. And I was like, wait, let me see what I can
That's like
do.
the worst sentence. Like,
Yeah.
ever.
I was like, just let me see.
My aunt has a camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Let me see what we can do. And so I think maybe it was like someone told me about someone who told me about someone who told me about you.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
From Instagram. So, yeah, then I messaged you to see if you're free. And
Yeah.
you weren't.
And I was free. So, what was funny about that moment in time, I don't know if you've already listened to it, because we talked a little bit about it last week, was that she had just quit her job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She was like
think
the full-time
for-
provider.
I quit 4 days. Like, I literally just quit 4 days ago, and I was like having this breakdown. Like, I shouldn't have quit.
Because it took like a full year to convince her to quit, because it was like this toxic environment.
Mhm.
Her
Yeah.
back is bad. You know, she's pregnant, so that's stressful too. And so I've been trying since like the beginning of 2016 to get this videography business started.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of slowly climbing. And so you finally quit and like, oh, awesome. And then we're thinking, oh, snap, how do we get through October? Because like I didn't have it, surprisingly enough, October is usually pretty busy.
Yeah.
I was like, dang it. And then we were just like sitting at Gecko's. You know
It's a
Gecko's?
Mexican
Yeah,
grill.
they live
Gecko
in
Grill.
Gecko.
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
And we're just like, oh, how do we get this? And then literally like the minute later, Johnny and Garrett, oh, who's this big time star of the internet?
That's exactly what he's like. These big time photographers. That's
Big
about
time.
it.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like, I can pay for my meal, you know? And so
Dang.
and so you told me about Keisha, like, oh, this is great. And I was, going to be willing to do it for anything just because we needed to make it through that month.
Absolutely.
And so ended up being a beautiful wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I messaged her. She was super nice. Like, can you do it for such and such? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Whatever. I'll do it.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, so that's
I
how we got
love
through
that.
October.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Super
guys.
cool.
I know.
I love stories like
I know.
that.
I know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Well, that's
then
good.
we saw you guys there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was kind of sad that I wasn't there, like, for the prep and stuff. Because
Yeah.
that usually makes for a really great wedding video if you
Yeah.
get the prep and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Again, she can only really have me for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a
That's
short
okay.
day, huh? You did
But-
such a good job, though. Their video was so awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I was so happy with it. I remember when I was looking it over, I have a friend from, I have a friend that came down here from Utah, and him and his friend make music. And
Oh, cool.
I know you heard the wedding song, too.
Yeah.
It's, like, super different and moody
Uh-huh.
and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a local guy from Utah who just has, like, this amazing voice. What's his name? Jay Warren?
Yeah.
Jay Warren. And so I'm like, this is super different. Like, I love, like, how this super moody this is, but I gotta, like, because I rarely do this. I'll rarely, like, send a clip to a bride while I'm still editing
Mhm.
to see if she likes a song, because
Yeah.
sometimes they don't, and then I
Yeah.
have to restart. Sometimes it's just worth it to just have them deliver the whole thing and
Yeah.
they'll like it.
Mhm.
But I'm like, this is way different, so I'm just gonna send it to her, and she's like, oh my gosh, you nailed it. That's so awesome.
so
And
cool.
I was
love
happy with it.
That's awesome.
And then, okay, which brings me to my next point. Do you, you're obviously well versed with like all of like the wedding blogs and
Yeah.
your companies and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
Do you usually submit weddings to, like Junebug and stuff like them
Yes.
on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, weddings that are going to be published, you just have to make sure they have a lot of detail. So like receptions, if you have really cool designed receptions, maybe with a lot of detail, or like a really cool location for their wedding ceremony. It just needs to be kind of like a whole package of a very well planned, really well designed wedding. So anything that's kind of that kind of vibe, will absolutely submit it. They help us a ton. It helps us get in front of brides that are searching for vendors.
Okay.
Because that's where brides go for those wedding blogs. They go to figure out new things for their wedding or inspiration and whatnot. So that helps a ton with getting just our work in front of new brides. It helps with destination weddings. Cause,
we have. I mean, we
lot.
get a decent amount of inquiries
We get a
from like Junebug, and we've been fortunate to develop a pretty good relationship
Yeah.
with them just by submitting so much. And
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they've been super awesome for us.
But yeah, we're all about like publications. We think they're so important.
That's
and
cool.
They really do help a lot in your business.
That's awesome. Because I was wondering too. It's because I know you need to submit mine as well. But I'm like, if the video was so bad, would they have just published you and then not omitted the video?
I
Kind of
don't
thing?
know.
I
Because
don't
they
know
always
either.
will ask for a video.
Right.
Yeah.
They put yours at the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was super
Um,
stoked about it.
Yeah, they always ask for a video link. So
Hmm.
I assume they'd include it.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
was like, man, what if it's like, I mean, that would be a heartbreaker, right, for any videographer. It's like, let me submit it. Oh, and then you see
You
it, and it's
actually
like
didn't
not
make the
there.
cut.
It's like you scroll down, all your pictures are there, but not the video.
I feel like if it's a really great wedding, they're
think it's-
probably gonna have a really.
That's
great
what I said to
video,
Keisha too.
regardless.
It's like she's like, you did such a good job. I'm like, honestly, like a monkey could have like captured that day like just as
Seriously.
good. Seriously, it was like awesome.
Yeah,
Just,
they
like,
had
the
a
whole
very
day.
easy day for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Desert Botanical Garden, one of my favorites now.
Yeah.
I went there again one other time.
Did
and
you trespass like we did?
on the day?
Yeah. Remember when we got kicked off the mountain?
Oh, I tried to convince the photographers that we needed to,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, no. I'm like, you guys are missing out.
Missing out.
I was just like, but well, what I was gonna say is that the wedding video that I'm working on now that I did there, it looks like a totally different venue, just because the place is so wide.
huge.
It's
Yeah.
just huge, and so I have a little clip on Instagram of it. It's like we went to this place with really tall like hay, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's just
There?
tall.
That's crazy.
We had to walk quite a ways, but
But it's in there somewhere.
so it
That's
ended
cool
up
they
being
found it.
pretty cool. But I was just like saying, hey, like me and these other photographers, like we ended up just going up there and just stay up there until we get kicked off. Like, they just kind of brushed me off, understandably, because they don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
We're bad influence.
I mean, all they do is just tell you to get down.
We're
We,
It's so hard to not trespass.
yeah. You just ask
Uh,
forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, ask for forgiveness. Not
It's
permission.
fine.
You
She
see,
was hunting you down with your drone too. Where's that drone?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
like you were flying it down. She's like, are you
no.
bringing it down?
because I
was
flew the
like,
drone
I'm
at that
bringing
wedding
it down.
too. No, they were nicer. They were nicer than when I flew the drone at the Mesa Temple. They were mean. To
Oh,
me.
were they sassy?
I've
Yeah.
heard some people getting pretty mad about drone shots for
drones.
videographers.
But they're so cool.
I'm basically over it. If anyone's watching that really wants drone stuff, unless like your venue like is really okay with it, I don't even bring it. It's just too much to handle.
Well, they get very
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
They get very
do.
angry, and sometimes people just like, I don't know, just like social justice warriors just come up to me. It's like, do you have a license for that? And they're just like part of the wedding. It's like you don't know why they care about
Oh yeah,
what you're
because you have
doing.
to
They're
have
no
like,
one. They're just-
permits for it.
Yeah,
or
you have a
something,
permit
right?
and like an actual like license they have to go to class for.
Were you doing something illegal that you're worried about? Like,
Yeah.
why do you care?
It's like we're all, and so I'm just over it. I'd hardly bring it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like I had its
It's such a
time.
bummer.
When like a few years ago, I feel like it was like, oh, drone shot or nothing. Like everyone had drone shots. Now I feel like I can make a pretty good video without
Yeah.
it. So and I only usually put like 1 or 2 clips in anyway.
Yeah.
So.
This
Yeah.
wedding, they brought their drone
Oh, they did.
and they flew it over during their portrait
Oh,
session
that's
out on the
cool.
cliffs. It was cool.
Yeah. Here, let's go ahead and take a look at this while we're Johnny and Garrett wedding photography for wild love.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a clean website. Wait, do you guys do it through Squarespace?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Squarespace.
Okay. Do you want to read the About Us? Do you want me to read the About Us? I read the About Us one time. They loved it.
You can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, they loved it.
I wonder if it's changed since
What?
the first. We'd like just
We
changed
just
it.
changed it.
So
You just changed it?
it might be a little bit different than when you read it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to read it right now.
Okay.
Not within like the last
Yeah, read
day.
it.
Okay, everybody, here, this is Johnny and Garrett, okay? We are Johnny and Garrett. We are husband and wife first, wedding photographer second. We love Jesus with everything in us. We were both born and raised in AZ and lived a few minutes apart until we met 5 years ago. We got married at the cutest summer camp in the forest about 2.5 years ago. Our latest addition to the fam is a sheepadoodle pup named Ro. Oh yeah, we didn't ask you your pup's name.
Her
Ro?
name's Ro.
There it
She
is.
said it in the beginning.
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
come on,
suck
Kyle.
at listening
God,
to things.
listen.
And yes, she has her own Instagram. Oh, because I was wondering if she had her
She does.
on Instagram. We love going to the movies, making cookies at midnight, biking to our favorite brewery, or frequenting pizza restaurants. We absolutely will drive 20 minutes out of the way for a third wave coffee shop. Coffee shop. What does third wave mean?
It's like specialty coffee.
Oh, specialty coffee.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Again, I'm super
Yeah.
familiar with the culture of.
it's.
Well, most people don't know what third wave is, anyways. That's why I put it in.
Oh, because
I was like, the people that
For the
know
people
will be
that
like,
know
hell
will
yes.
know. Oh, yeah. They're cultured.
people that actually really
They
care
love
about their
coffee.
coffee.
Because we do.
We're always waiting for our next flight out of town to explore new places. We picked up photography back when we were dating and learned everything side by side since day one. A photography teacher once told us that we'd hate shooting weddings. A few years later, and we're still enjoying every second to the fullest. Wait, your photography teacher actually told you that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
He
he
was
shot
sassy.
one once and he was like, "It sucks. You're gonna
Oh,
hate it.
like
You're
Yeah.
not, you're not gonna."
experience.
He was not down for us being wedding photographers.
Like for you guys in particular to be wedding photographer, like your
No.
idea of being it, like
Well, we like
he
pitched
just-
him the idea once, and he was just like,
You're going to hate it.
"Oh no, it's not
Don't
gonna
do
be
it.
good."
You're going
Like,
to hate it.
what kind of photographer was he?
The teacher one?
Oh, I mean, teachers usually aren't just teachers,
I don't know.
right?
no, he
I don't know what
Teacher
he does.
photographer.
he did a lot of different types of stuff, and he would travel.
He really liked Garrett.
Like he taught English in like Japan or
I
something,
don't know.
and he would just like document things,
We
kind
saw
of.
him once on one of those pink Jeeps in Sedona. We were like literally on the side of the street in Sedona, and we were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my god!" We just watched him drive by. It's just funny. Like we always just joke about it because like it was just such a weird time, like learning to be.
You should have yelled at him like,
photographers.
"We're one of the top wedding photographers of all time."
"Oh my god,
Yeah,
stop! We're photographers!"
I got a
I really
bouquet
liked
for
him
you.
though. I mean,
Garrett was way better than me in our class, so he liked Garrett a lot more than he liked
It
me.
was like one of
I
those
still can't
photography
admit that.
classes where you have to go into like a what is it called? The red room? What is it called?
Dark room.
Dark room?
it wasn't film; it was
Was
digital.
Oh, it's digital?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Let me see. Wait, okay, photos. That's what I wanted to get to.
That's our blog.
Ooh.
We've got all the weddings.
Dude, I like this one.
That's
That one was awesome.
See,
Yeah,
so if
that's
I
super
ever try to
pretty.
go to, I mean, I'm not just saying this because you're here. If I ever try to go for like an edit in my videos, I try to do basically this.
Yes.
This is like kind of the style I try to go for.
Cool.
Like cool, dark, and moody. Like
Yeah.
this is like warm and stuff.
It's got warmth to it, but it's not too dark.
Yeah.
We love playing with the sun and
Yeah, those are
Have you
really
guys
pretty.
basically stuck to this since you started, or was your look pretty different when you
It's
first started?
It was
developed into
definitely
this.
different.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can go back pretty far and see
Really?
on that blog. I don't know how far back we can get. I know I've taken a lot off. I mean, we've definitely had a way different style back in the day. It always was like, hopefully we'll make it to this one day.
Yeah, it was like we
Um,
wanted this, but didn't know how in the beginning.
So it took a while, but
Look at all
I
this
love that
stuff.
San Francisco location. It's my
Yeah,
Wait,
favorite.
which
that
one?
is so cool.
The
Oh,
San
this
Francisco
one?
one right there. It's my favorite
Yeah, we
spot in
found
San
that spot, and
Francisco.
it's so beautiful.
What?
Someone asked you about going to San Francisco, right? You
I found that on like Google Maps, just like searching around, and then I
Satellite view.
saw like this hill.
Someone what you're saying. Someone asked me if I could go to San Francisco. Now this could be my first one.
Yeah.
But then it turned out that the cathedral had like horrible rules. Like the videographer wasn't allowed to move from their post. Like
Oh,
if you have a
weird.
tripod there, you weren't allowed to move. I'm like, what if I want to go from one tripod to the other tripod? Because you guys see how I
Yeah,
kinda
you go
move
back and
around.
forth. Yeah.
That's so weird.
And they're just like, no, you absolutely can't. I'm like, well,
Weird.
if I was a handheld videographer, like you're saying a photographer can move. If I was a handheld videographer, I'm basically the same. Like,
Yeah.
just because I classify myself as such, like, yeah, I'm not allowed to move. Like, you cannot move.
That's crazy.
And so I bested the bride that. I was kind of surprised she wanted me at all because she didn't even want me to edit it. She was going to outsource the editing. I'm like, why don't you just get someone from around there, which she kind of probably thought to
That's
herself.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't this super interesting?
Interesting.
Yeah. You guys shoot with Nikon, right?
we do.
yeah.
And so I remember you guys posting on your Instagram story one time for looking for a second photographer or a second shooter or something like that, and it must be Nikon. Like, what are
Yeah.
the main like differences you find? Because Canon's probably the other
They're
the
both
most popular.
fantastic.
Mhm.
It's just when it comes down to like the colors and the editing.
Mhm.
So when we first started, I was Canon and he was Nikon.
Mhm.
For I don't know, maybe the first few months of us even like maybe shooting
It was
weddings.
Probably a year. We were shooting weddings.
We were
It was in the
shooting,
very beginning of our career.
and I would spend hours trying to get photos to match and
Really?
edits.
At the time,
It was
I
just
had more
so
gear, and also generally we kind of just liked the colors or like the way we could achieve
Yeah.
the edit.
The Nikon
seems-
edit always looked better the way we wanted it to look.
So
But
I finally convinced her to change. There was even
I
a
was
point
a
where
stubborn
she
shit, and I was like,
upgraded
I'm
her
not
camera.
gonna sell my Canon.
Yeah, there was a point where she upgraded and didn't buy a Nikon. She like got another Canon, and I was
I'm
like,
stubborn.
"What are you doing?"
You'll realize I'm the most stubborn person.
And then I think like a
alive.
month later, she's like, "Okay, I'll trade," and she traded someone.
I
straight up for a
traded
Nikon.
someone straight up for the Nikon, so it didn't cost me anything.
Smart.
So
Wait,
shout out to the guy.
what
on
kind of
the
that.
list.
what kind of Canon did you buy?
I had the Canon
I think you got like a Mark II.
Mark II.
Mark II.
Yeah. And then I traded someone direct for a
D800,
D800, which kind of was
which we got rid of quickly as well
but
because
he got the
huge
short
file
end of the
sizes.
stick because I got the more expensive camera.
Yeah.
But he was really down for it, so
Huh.
I wasn't like pressuring him.
Because
to
he was
do it.
video. He wanted to do more
Yeah.
video stuff,
Oh,
and that camera wasn't, ideal for him.
Yeah, he wanted the Canon for video.
is
Yeah.
is there like is the color profiles really different? Are the skin tones really different between the two?
They
Yes.
are. I mean,
think-
Nikon, at least for the camera we use, has a much better dynamic range.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, and then, yeah, the colors are different. Like the reds
There's
are very different.
The reds are different. You can see it in skin tones, I think, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way that we've like developed our edits, it just worked better with Nikon.
Yeah, it's just a preference thing.
I swapped everything
I
over.
mean, Canon's amazing as well.
Yeah, they're
We
both
just-
fantastic. But I don't want to
Nikon's just the one
hire.
we
So
use.
I think when we posted that, we're adding on an associate photographer this year. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
have somebody who will take on some of our weddings locally.
Uh-huh.
It'll be under Johnny and Garrett. We'll do all the editing, but he'll be there shooting it.
Right.
So we only wanted to hire a Nikon photographer
Right.
because
It's just
Um,
consistency purposes. We like
Yeah.
to deliver a completely
It needs to be very
consistent product,
consistent.
so that's the easiest way to do it, and it makes it a little bit harder to find somebody.
yeah,
But
it's very
I think
hard.
it'd be worth it for us. So
Yeah.
Right. Because in a previous podcast, I feel like we nerd out so much about like Canon and Sony and stuff because I'm familiar with that, but I'm really not familiar with like Nikon model numbers at all. I
Yeah.
know D5 because I know someone has a D5.
So we are on
yeah, we have a
the
D750,
D750. They just
which
came
we
out
love.
with
It
the
does a
850.
great job for what we need.
Yeah, it's
and yeah,
great
they
for
just came out with
weddings.
the D850, which everyone is like drooling over,
We
and
refuse to try it because then we'll probably try to buy it.
I'm pretty sure they're like all on back order right now. Anyways,
Yeah, someone told us they're on
they're so
back order.
popular. But yeah, if we got those, I know we would just want to upgrade, and it'd be expensive, and
We don't need it yet.
the time is
Isn't that
not
the stinky?
there.
Isn't that the stinky thing about the industry in general? Is that like, even if you don't need to upgrade, as soon as there's an upgrade available, you just want to do it.
You want to? Yeah,
It's very expensive.
I know.
it's a
like never
good
ending.
upgrade for
Yeah.
different reasons. However, like we said, our cameras are amazing for
They're
what we
doing
do,
awesome,
and
and they're not that old.
we don't have any issues, and they do super
But the
great in
minute
the
an
light.
issue comes up, we'll be like, 850.
Yeah,
Because I'll still shoot with some photographers every so often that are, obviously pretty successful, and they're shooting with Mark IIs still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't see, I mean, again, I don't have super trained eye for it, but it's like, I mean, it's working. It
If they
looks
love
just
their
as,
camera,
yeah,
it
just the same
works
as-
for what they do.
right.
Exactly.
We just-
I'm just super cheap and like I have this ghetto rigged camera bag now that I just like don't want to buy a new one yet. So both the straps have broken off and they're like hooked on like to the closest thing they can like still be attached to, and I'm gonna wear this camera bag to the ground. So
I keep telling her to buy a new one. She's
Until
been
it
looking at
fully
two
breaks.
for so
I'm
long.
not gonna buy a new one. So that's probably how we're gonna be with our cameras.
We're not gonna do that. Not if I can help it.
If I had it my way.
Johnny's more about like
I'm
quantity,
just cheap. I'm cheap.
and I'm all about quality.
I'm cheap, but I love being cheap.
Yeah, it's the
It's the
best.
best.
You're all about Last Chance and
No.
What? I thought that was like how cheap people do.
I can't do Last Chance.
okay.
I just
H&M.
It's just
From
everything
Toy
needs a coupon.
everything needs it like yeah.
Okay.
A coupon
Oh, okay.
or like you go when it's on sale.
Oh, so you're at your Nordstrom's with a coupon.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Which never happens, so I'm never at Nordstrom.
Yeah.
I don't go to Nordstrom Rack if I had a gift card maybe. But I just like last
She
night
definitely knows how to find
last
a
night
deal.
we were trying to get ice cream, and
It's closer.
I was like going hard trying to find coupons, and it was like 11 at night, and no one was open. And I was like, I can't find a coupon. Nothing's open. And then we just stuck with Dairy Queen.
That's too funny.
But
Yeah, we have this lunch spot that we love.
it's
but
actually
she
kind of
won't
like,
go
the worst
without
place.
a coupon. And
No, I won't.
I'll be like, let's just go
refuse.
here today, and she'll be like, no. I'm like,
No,
but that's
because
what I
we
want.
could go have a nice meal at Joyride, or we could go have an okay meal at Fresh Millions
Mm-hmm.
for the same price. So it was like,
Joyride
if
is
you-
expensive.
I know.
It is.
And so is
I've only
Fresh
been there
Millions.
once.
Fresh Millions looks like you're in a hospital cafe because it's like a sterile environment, kind of like there's no decorations, but it's really good.
Food's
Mm.
good.
But I refuse to go there without a coupon.
See, I think that's what we need to be talking, because we talked about the photography stuff. We need to talk about like life hacks and like how to style and dress and eat and stuff like that.
I could tell you how to coupon.
Mix it in.
Yeah. What do you
give us
guys
a
shop
few.
for your clothes? Because you guys are always really stylish, and I need to know.
PacSun for shirts for me.
PacSun
Yeah,
is so
PacSun
nice.
shirts.
For shirts. And
The
then...
scallop. Tee
yeah, the scallop
with
tees.
the nice curve.
Wait, is
Yeah.
that what these are
I think
called?
that's
Where
what
they
you have.
curve.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
That's
I
like
like the longer
That's
ones.
like the only ones I like.
Also, I just have a long torso, so like normal shirts
See,
are like...
so
they're weird.
I love these ripped jeans.
These are from
I think ripped jeans are
ASOS.
so cute on guys.
ASOS.
I had to like force Garrett to get them the first
Online
time,
shopping.
and now he loves them.
As long as you
I
order
know
like
it
what,
is.
$50
Yeah, we
or more,
love
you get free
ASOS.
shipping, and then you can send it back.
Which
if-
some people
for
don't
free.
call
I
it
gotta write this
ASOS.
down
I've heard of
somewhere.
ASOS.
I call it ASOS.
ASOS.
I don't know. ASOS.com.
Probably doesn't know this. I know what it is, but he's like,
Because
There's tons of
It's
like
awesome.
good clothes on there.
I
Because-
love getting stuff there.
I have the exact opposite problem. So I want a scallop tee because I have a short torso and I want
Make
to
you look
seem
longer.
longer. I want to seem longer than I am. And I've gotten cool pants like that, but again, like they're too long and I can't find anyone to hem them for me.
We got a lady.
Oh, I got a girl.
Oh, she's awesome.
Van.
Van.
Her
name's Van.
She's great.
She's
She's like,
she's
you look like
this-
Mado. She'll like hit me in
taps
the
his-
leg.
So does she? And I'll ask you. off camera anyways.
Okay.
Because I get a lot of you know Chase Evie. I think I talked to you a little bit about him
I think
before.
so.
He's a photographer.
Yeah.
We worked a lot together. He always gives me his clothes that he doesn't want anymore, and he's a stylish dude. Chase.
Mhm.
So they always fit super great. I feel super good about myself, but I find myself wearing 90% of the time Chase Evie clothes. But
You
they're-
need your own
They're
clothes.
well hemmed, you know.
No one
all
else
over.
knows. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no one
I
knows.
know. So
a good deal.
until now, well, all 75 people that'll watch this will know.
Should
But
we have done it off the record?
no. This is
Just bleep it out.
Yeah.
The
Just
refreshing
bleep out
part-
his name.
The refreshing part about this is that it's like the first half is like what people that are photography or wanting to get into or whatever like can relate to, and then this bit everyone can relate to, like
Yes.
clothes and
I
food
got you.
and ASOS.
ASOS. Everyone can relate to that. You just spend more money to get free shipping. That's
More
And
money
then
for
best.
free
shipping.
return. So if you don't
And
know
you
your
return.
size, buy multiple and then return one. So
I didn't know that about that.
Yeah.
I've honestly, I know what it is, but I've never bought something.
it's great.
And now you get to contribute to the conversation.
we've
Yeah.
bought.
I can always talk about
Yay.
clothes.
So we get a lot of the stuff for our styled shoots from there.
Oh really?
We'll buy like 4 suits and then just return them.
Oh,
Don't
you know
tell
what
ASOS.
you know what I noticed? Because I think you're like a pretty big consultant for Keisha's wedding, right? Like you told her
Yeah, I
like, where
helped
to
her a
get her
lot with the
suit
style.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
He got a suit from Magro.
Magro.
Magro, they're so awesome.
Magro, I'm
They're
pretty
awesome.
sure. I don't know the guy personally, but my brother-in-law, we used to work at as bus drivers at the
Mhm.
bus yard, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the guys that was there right before I'd gotten there.
Really?
He was a
Maybe.
bus driver.
Really?
Yeah, the guy that
Oh,
started
sure?
Magro. Yeah, that's what Parker said. And it's like Magro, that's my friend because it used to be
Oh,
on by
interesting.
Geckos. It used to be by Habit, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Now
that's-
it's like a missionary store there. It's the
Yeah.
same company.
Yeah.
Oh,
same.
they made this.
It's like a
broke off.
branch.
Oh,
or
okay.
It's like
something.
a.
Oh, it's branched
called
off from them?
Preach, and
Cole
it's
got
like
his
Yeah, they call it
mission
Preach.
clothes
specifically
from
for
there.
mission
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah, it's like Preach Supply.
Super
or
cool
Yeah.
custom suits though.
They're so awesome.
He does an amazing job.
Yeah,
They're
I remember
fun.
Parker pointed to like that's the guy used to work at the bus yard.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
How fun!
Bus
Smart
friends.
dude. I know
Bus
bus friends.
friends.
All those
Everyone
bus
needs a bus friend.
entrepreneurs. You guys totally won me over when I found out. By the way, I need to find someone to go with. I'm not saying you have to go with me, but Post Malone. You guys are big fans of Post
I
Malone?
love his new album.
It's
I've been working
amazing,
out
isn't
to it
it?
every
Good.
day.
Me too.
It's really good. I don't know the song names because
Better Now is really popular.
Better Now is good, but it's not my favorite.
Sugar Wraith is my favorite. Do you like Sugar Wraith? Oh, please.
hold on,
say
I
it's your
gotta-
favorite.
I gotta look because I listened to
We're
it.
not that. We're not big enough fans to know the names.
Kyle is such
But
a
we-
big fan.
He's coming to
Really-
Arizona next month. And, it's
and we
not,
already
it's not
went
that
to one of his
expensive.
concerts, and
You
he's
did?
like dying to go.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Which one's this one?
Sugar Wraith.
My favorite was
Blame It On Me is also really good.
I really liked Stay, this one.
Stay's good.
And I think it was this one.
Zack and
Other
Codeine
Side.
is good.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Which one?
Other Side.
Other Side? I haven't listened to that one. Wait, have I listened to that one a lot? Oh, is
I
that the
feel
one
like
you're
you've
listening
listened
to?
You listen to all of them.
So we gotta listen to it like this. This is smart because if I put the song on, it'll get copyrighted because it's a brand new album. So we gotta
Ah.
listen to it like this.
There we go.
I like that one, and then I like a lot of them.
Use that codeine.
Yeah, Zack and Cody.
And now the next 20 minutes are just pushing.
I wake up, rinse my mouth.
This is a good one. I don't know, they're all really good.
Anyways,
Oh.
June 18th he's coming, and you don't want to go. I want to go. I need to find
You can
someone.
go.
You guys should get tickets and we can meet up there or something.
I haven't been to a
into
concert
it.
in a
If
while.
it's not like sold out already.
It's not. I looked last
Really?
night. It's
Where is it at?
because he
Where
doesn't
is it?
perform at big
Raw.
venues yet. It's at Rawhide.
Really?
He doesn't?
No.
No, we
Oh,
went
this
to
year
one.
he will.
Yeah,
we
I
went
think
to-
after this
I put
one.
my
What's it
feet up
called?
here, is that
Tempe
okay?
Marquee?
Yeah, it's cool.
Is
Yeah,
that
we
what
saw
it
him at the
is?
Tempe Marquee.
Oh, you did?
Again, we're not
probably
super big concert
Rowdy.
goers.
He's only been to one other concert.
I've only been into
He's like,
to one other concert just a couple years ago. In high school, I never went to a
who
concert.
was it? I can't even think.
It was Macklemore.
There we go.
At Comerica
Okay.
Theater.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, he doesn't perform at big venues just yet. I'm sure next year
This
he
year
probably will.
Because he just,
He won a Billboard.
and he broke that Billboard record that I think the Beatles had only had. The amount of songs on the Billboard's like top 100 at one time.
Oh, wow.
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 He'll go into arenas this year, I swear.
So-
He'll have to.
What also I really like about him is that one of
I
the
can't get it off.
reasons I got inspired to do a podcast. So he's actually really into like the YouTube culture. I don't know how much YouTube you guys watch. If you guys have time to watch it,
we
there's
know
a lot
about
of shows.
Casey
on
I
it.
Neistat.
watch. a
Casey
lot of-
Neistat. I watched. He basically was one of the top reasons I got into videography.
That's so cool. That's, our friend is really into him.
Yeah, we were in New York.
Oh, yeah,
and
we
he
ran
like
into him.
Did you see
made
him?
us go to the studio, and he got to meet him. It was super
that's
cool.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
He like made us stand outside the studio. It wasn't even like let's go in the studio. It was like we have to stand outside and wait.
No, because that's how
You
it
can't
is.
But that's
go
how it
in.
is because you can't go
Yeah.
in. So we like saw him.
He just happened to be getting a snack next door, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
ran
we
into
had our
him.
camera on us, and I took the photo of them on my phone.
Oh.
I like had the camera right there, and I took it on my phone, and I was like, that was stupid. I should have taken
That's
it
okay.
on my camera. So-
Yeah, he's a
was
cool
really
dude.
bad.
What was I saying? Oh,
Oh yeah, you too.
YouTube.
yeah,
I like YouTube, but
So Post Malone's always on there with different people. Like
Cool.
a lot of people that are big on YouTube really like Post Malone because he's such like a nice guy. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's really big friends with H3H3 Productions.
Mhm.
If you look them up, they're like a comedy sketch channel
Oh,
and they have a
cool.
podcast.
Uh-huh.
And they just kind of goof on videos. They're our favorite channel.
We
They're
watch 'em a
so
lot.
That's awesome.
We
funny.
could laugh for days.
That's
And
so
they-
cool.
And they have a clothing line called Teddy Fresh.
Okay.
Anyways, so they're like best friends with Post Malone. So
Mhm.
they have him on the podcast all the time.
that's cool.
And so you
cool.
hear him and he's just like, I don't know, just the sweetest dude. So that
He's
was
just a cool guy, right?
right.
That's
He's
what
just a
everyone
cool
seems to
guy.
say.
It's basically like
That's
I've got my
cool.
inspiration to do anything from YouTube, whether it be the H3 podcast, whether it be Casey Neistat, kind of stuff.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's fun.
I love that.
You know.
It is fun.
Oh, you know what also was impressionable from you guys was last Halloween.
Was it my costume?
So I was saying before that day that why is everyone still dressing up like 11 from the first season of Stranger Things?
Ah.
No, it was season 2.
When the second season had come out.
The only people that knew what it was is if they like binge watched it.
Yeah.
So it was like a week before Halloween.
Yeah.
That's
True.
out.
And so
Yeah, so I
I'm
love
like,
it.
why is everyone still dressing up as 11? And then like
You did keep
and
saying
like the next day I saw like your Instagram story and you're dressed up like, you know, the punk
Mhm.
rock
The
one.
badass
too.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wrote and I was like hoping you were gonna get it, so I messaged you said bitchin'.
Yes. I don't need. Did you? You didn't dress up. Oh my god, no.
I
I,
didn't-
love Halloween, and no one freaking loves Halloween like
Did you
I
say I
love.
didn't dress up?
Did you? I don't remember.
I always dress up,
Yeah,
No,
Jared
last
always dresses
Halloween.
up.
but I don't remember what I was.
No, we didn't even do anything last Halloween. We like went to my parents' house and sat on the couch. Remember? Like we didn't do
that was
anything.
the first one.
No. Oh my
Then.
gosh, no. Berkey, my sister dressed up as a character from Riverdale, and we forced you to dress up as a character from Riverdale. Remember?
Maybe put a wig on. It was itchy.
I have a photo of it.
I remember.
Have you seen
That was the
the
first
show
Halloween we didn't do
Riverdale?
anything.
Here,
No,
if you
isn't that on Netflix?
It's
Season 1 is, I think.
it's on Netflix, yeah, but I
I've
think it was
heard of
on
it, but we
CW.
haven't gone into
I
it.
don't-
So, it's Cole Sprouse,
Oh,
Oh yeah,
and I
he's on that
forced
show.
Garrett to dress up as him, so
Mm.
that him and my sister could look.
We didn't go
If you want
anywhere.
people on the podcast to see that picture, just go ahead and send it to me.
I only have a boomerang of it, but you can look at it.
I don't even. Yeah, they made me put on like her mom's 40-year-old
So-
jean jacket.
So if you look up, what's his name on Riverdale? If you look up Cole Sprouse on Riverdale,
Yeah,
you'll see that they look the
because I've
same.
seen him on like the promotional stuff.
That's
You still gotta
funny.
send that to me. That's freaking funny.
Isn't it the funniest?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Garrett,
what, that's
Garrett
what you
always
dressed
dresses
up.
up.
We didn't do anything last year. It was sad.
We know we haven't done anything until that year. We usually don't. We usually just because we're I don't know.
Busy.
You're just busy. You're stressed. I'm stressed. And then she's like, Halloween's here. It's like, yeah, I'll just eat candy.
Bleh.
But we dressed up like Star Wars. I was
Oh,
Kylo.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
was Kylo
stuff. But that
Ren.
was overdone. Everyone was doing Star Wars.
Well, I love
But
Star Wars.
He loves Star Wars. Yes.
We've
I
never
want to.
seen
So
Star
I've like
Wars.
I say I want to watch all the Star Wars, but I don't know anyone with all the Star
You've
Wars,
never
and
seen
I'm not
them,
gonna
right?
buy them all. Like I'm sorry, I'm just
Have you not
not.
watched any of them?
I've
I've
never
seen a
any
few.
of
Okay.
them.
And then I saw like
You haven't?
some of the newer ones, but I want to know everything.
You want to be exposed.
Yeah,
Well, you know what's funny about the new Star Wars is that it's like but anyways,
yeah.
no, but it's fun. Is that your mom like she's not no one's really into like the old stuff.
Star
Like your
Wars.
mom wasn't into the old. It was kind of boring. There
Yeah.
was only like a certain culture that was into it.
The boring
since
people.
since Disney since Disney acquired like all these kind of franchises, you don't really have to be caught up on Star Wars to like enjoy
Right.
the new Star Wars.
Well, and I watched like some of the new ones or the most
Oh yeah,
recent
you watched
one,
the new one on the plane.
and it was awesome. Like
the newest one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I just thought maybe I needed to know more backstory.
yeah, probably need to watch
A little bit.
the one from 2 years ago too.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll check them out.
Yeah.
But
And
she,
you gotta
like, won't
some
watch
Star
them.
Wars.
I know.
She just
I
won't.
don't want to because I'm like too far
She's just
gone.
afraid she'll like it.
It's like
You'll love it.
I'm too far in. I can't go back now.
Kyle's always like, whenever he sees a good movie, all I can think about, oh, that shot was awesome. Oh, did you see the way that was filmed?
You know what's movie is
It's true.
really awesomely filmed is Baby Driver. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
movie's
love
awesome.
that. I love that movie.
yeah.
That
it
is
was
that the
cool.
one where they did all like the, like really quick shots. They like go with like
It was-
sound.
Yeah, so they basically like
It's like
they shot the movie
Yeah.
according to what he was listening to.
Yeah.
So it was like
So cool.
So they would be like do. Yeah. That
It was really sweet.
Let's
that was
reenact it.
Yeah. It's like we do a quick reenactment and we'll be right back and we just like set up everything. No, maybe I'll just put a
Yeah,
clip
that
in
movie
it.
was awesome.
I love that movie.
Mhm.
Anyways.
That's when Garrett had a Subaru,
Oh.
so he was real into it.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed when it was in the movie for like 2 minutes, and that was it.
His Subaru?
Oh yeah, it's only in the
It's in the first scene.
first car chase. And that's it.
They like really hardly advertised it, and then it was in the movie for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's just
So
the first one.
sad.
And then they're always switching cars.
Whatever.
Anyways, photography. That's your job.
Yes.
It is.
Videography is my job. Did you guys? So you guys graduated already? You said, right? Or dropped out? Or I
Yeah.
forget.
So we both have like an associate's.
I have a degree.
Oh,
in,
there you go. Then I don't even have
Yeah.
that.
but it
His
doesn't
is in
relate to
firefighting.
anything.
Oh,
No, I
firefighting?
think
Yeah.
you told us that at the
Yeah.
wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
So I
Put him
was
in a
like,
firefighter.
I was like ready to go be a firefighter, and then broke my wrist,
Did
and
you-
then decided not to be a firefighter
Did you do like a community college academy?
Mhm.
Which one?
through MCC.
Yeah.
That's what my
MCC?
brother
That's
did.
what her brother
did. Oh,
My
yeah.
brother's a fireman for Tempe.
Oh, very
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was
cool.
awesome. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Just decided not to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Change your heart.
Yeah,
That's fun though.
and it's hard. It's hard to get into for sure.
It is. It's very
You know what?
competitive. It took
It's
my
very
brother a while.
competitive. I think everyone, like the average, is waiting like 5-6 years
Yeah, it's
in the interviewing
crazy.
process just to
Mhm.
get into it. So if you're, obviously, if you're enjoying what you're doing now, stick with that.
Yeah.
Brooke and Doug is going to be on in a couple weeks. Do you know Brooke and Doug? They're photographers.
I think I've seen them on Instagram before.
So he's a firefighter that knows my brother-in-law, that knows your brother.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so
Sorry, I just burped. Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
It's
You're
my mouth.
gross.
you know, it needs to go out.
How's it
Way
go
or
out
the,
one
or
way?
the other. And so yeah, that's what he does. He does firefighting throughout the week, and then on the
Mhm.
weekends they have weddings. Him and his wife.
Oh,
goes and
cool.
does that. So-
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had no idea how we would have had this schedule if he was a firefighter.
Well, yeah, because you guys do a lot of like traveling and stuff,
Yeah.
and you guys.
It's
do
a lot
little
of
bit different.
spur of the moment type stuff because we find out a lot of our travel clients are contacting us with
6
like
months
way
notice.
shorter notice than our Arizona clients.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So sometimes it'll be 3 months, 6 months, whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are like, "Hey, we're eloping next week."
Yeah, our New York elopement was like a month in advance.
Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I love that couple though. They're so.
So you guys
awesome.
always got to be like available.
Yeah.
At any moment.
That was hard
That's
with a part-time
crazy.
job, but that's why I had to tell them up front.
Yeah, they knew up front.
And it
they could have
worked,
the schedule.
But it wasn't easy.
Yeah. And photography and videography are just fun full-time jobs to have, because I even like count my blessings now, because every day, you know, I obviously have my work and editing and stuff at home,
Mhm.
but like I get to wake up and just like be with you and baby whenever I want, just
Yeah.
kind of like
Mhm.
schedule everything around myself.
And it definitely wasn't like that. Like, this is more kind of, I guess October is kind of recent, but not. Like, I quit my job. Like, up
Mhm.
until that point, like, we never saw each other because I
Yeah,
was at my job. It
working.
was a
Oh,
really
yeah.
busy job.
Mhm.
So it's nice to, like, know that he's built his business and that
That's
we do get to
awesome.
spend more time.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
super nice. I mean, yeah, we get to wake up every morning and just hang out, and
Sleep
we
in.
mostly never get out
That's
of our
like the-
PJs.
That's like the biggest perk.
Yeah,
Is being able to sleep.
Well, we
Yeah.
sleep in and we stay up late, so it's like we're still awake. For the
Mhm.
So
same
you still get
amount
like
of
8
time,
hours, but it's like 2 to 10.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's like
It's a
exactly
different schedule. Just
Yeah.
better than yours. I'm just kidding. I looked at the camera and I said that.
Oh, she.
That's
you know, it's-
rude.
It
That
was
was
just
rude.
I was just being sassy.
What
Now we
else was I
overscheduled.
going to say
It's
just
nice.
now? Oh, I forgot.
Oh, should we go to that list of questions we got from Instagram?
Yeah, there's a pretty big list. I don't know if I want to
It's
go
like
through all
super
these.
big, right?
Yeah, it's super huge. Let me find it. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Let me see. At
Anonymous.
little yeah, at
Anonymous.
Anonymous said
At Post Malone.
Post Malone said. Oh, here's a question that someone wrote, not me. When it, so you guys say, oh, it's weird hearing myself with the echo. So you guys said like you guys started probably like 5 or 6 years ago, right? 5
5.
years ago.
5, yeah.
4.
4.
4 years ago.
4.
How often
I-
would you say like that when you go to weddings? How more often do you like shoot with videographers now?
It's like half.
Still like 50-50.
Still like 50, like with the same amount you did like to begin with, or do you have
It's
to
just,
an increase?
just
Maybe more
I'd
recently.
say a little more, but I still feel like they're only at 50% of
Yeah.
our weddings.
Oh.
It's not
Okay.
as much as we'd. I mean, obviously, we'd love for our clients to have more
Mhm.
wedding videos. I mean, we didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
We would have loved to, but it wasn't really in the budget for our wedding.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a huge budget for our wedding.
We made it work.
But yeah, I think it's something that maybe people don't always budget in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They wait for like if they have anything left over.
Right.
Which is hard.
Which
Which is
is
always hard.
yeah. I mean, well, I'll take it right now, but I've said this before. It's like, obviously, I've said this with a lot of different people, actually. You obviously, even us, even anybody, would definitely prioritize photography, I would feel. Just because photography is just kind of how it's always been. You prioritize photography because you want photos of the day.
Yeah.
And videography, it's like, you know, unfortunately for us, if you have the money left over, you'll do
Yeah.
it kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have gotten it still when I did, just because it is an up-and-coming thing, and I'm glad to be like one of the front runners, I
Yeah.
guess, in a ways, just because it'll keep going up and up and up, and by that time, hopefully I can justify myself to be at a certain price point
Yeah,
and,
for
Mhm.
sure.
and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. It's like, it was kind of hard because like people come to you with like their budget of what they have left over. It's like, and I'm this much. Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah.
No. Okay. It's fine. kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something that maybe, I don't know, especially us living in like a digital world, maybe it will be something that people choose to have more at their wedding in
Right.
the next few years.
I think so
I think
too.
it'd be awesome. And they're getting so creative, and you can see some like the craziest epic videos.
And what they're doing with cameras nowadays, like for example, Sony, I know I've geeked out about them enough, but they're like, I when you look at it, it's like so surprising what they can do with that tiny little body.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really
It's nutty.
Their sensors are
smooth
insane.
and
Yeah, the sensors are insane, and just like there's just so
that's your new
crisp.
lens, right?
Yeah, that lens costs as much as that camera
Yeah.
itself.
It's crazy.
But it's seriously like that combination. I just geek out every time. The first time I looked at footage from that lens, I almost cried.
Yeah,
It was just so clean.
Beautiful.
I love it.
So beautiful.
That's
but-
awesome.
Yeah, it's just one of the things about it, about always having to upgrade gear, because Nikon lenses, those are pretty Are those pretty pricey?
There you are.
We shoot with Sigma.
We use a lot of Sigma.
Oh, okay.
We
Oh,
have
that's
one
what that
Nikon
one is.
one.
Yeah. Sigma's awesome. We have one lens that's a little bit weird that we just replaced with the Nikon
Yeah.
one. But overall,
Our
Sigma's been
50 is,
super
like,
sharp.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fraction of the cost. We
Right.
love it. So,
Yeah, I love the 50. The Sigma 50 is awesome.
it's, yeah, one of our favorites for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Would you guys ever consider, like, have you guys ever tried, like, making a video before? Or did your Nikon
Yeah,
shoot
it was
video,
the
right?
worst.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys have?
It was actually from my dad. He like needed something for his company, and I was like, Dad, I don't do video. Please don't make me do this. And he was like, we need it. Like, it's fine. We like, it's just a little bit of content that we need. So we were like, fine, we'll do it. And we messed it up so bad. Like, I don't think we knew like how to work our camera the same way. Like,
I mean, we don't know a lot about
the
video,
ISO was so
honestly.
high,
like
and so the whole thing
grainy.
was so grainy.
Yeah.
And like,
our cameras are capable of shooting.
it was when we had a.
Really nice
it wasn't
video,
on
but-
our 750s.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a long time ago, and it was so bad. And I looked at it after, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we can't do anything with this video." And then my dad was like, "Okay, yeah, it's really bad. Like we can't use it at all."
I really appreciate video and I really enjoy it. I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Like we went on vacation in Hawaii. I think it was Hawaii, and I started like documenting with video. And I have all these clips somewhere, but I never did anything with them. Mostly because I think post production is what scares me the most. But then also, I don't know. I took a class at MCC for it when we were doing like the photo course. I did it at the same time, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's super cool, and you have a lot of potential to be just like extremely creative with it.
Right.
But it's just another
It's
beast.
a whole other
like,
world.
It is a whole nother world. I mean, in setting wise, I know that a lot of photographers, including you guys, could get it right off the bat just because it is really similar with like ISO, shutter
Yeah.
speed,
Mhm.
aperture, and stuff. A lot of those rules are the same.
Mhm.
But post is totally different.
Yeah,
yeah.
way different.
It's like, finding a song, trying to sequence it to your style, trying to overlay. Color editing is not the same at all.
yeah,
Because I'll
Mhm.
take pictures every so often just for fun. And like when I'm touching stuff in Lightroom. Do you guys use Lightroom?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, it's so drastic,
Yeah.
the difference in color editing
yeah.
as opposed to video.
That's
Because
crazy.
video has so many different options to color grade those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people ask us if we do video, and it's just something that we don't know enough about, and we probably will never
I'd
learn
like to
it.
do it for fun.
Maybe for fun.
But I don't think I'd
But that's a whole
offer it as a
nother-
professional service.
I'd rather let a videographer take over that role and let us focus on.
You guys could do
Well,
it.
we
As
are
long
doing
as you know frame rate. If you know frame rate, you have it down.
I know a little bit,
There you
but
go.
not enough.
Not
As long as you switch your Google your whatever Nikon you have
Mhm.
and find out how to change it to 60 frames per second
Oh, okay.
because you want to be able to slow down
Slow it
anything
down.
you want,
Right.
then you'll be fine. Because one of the most common mistakes with new videographers is that when you slow something down, it's all choppy. It's
Mhm.
because you didn't have enough
Right,
frames
wrong
in the
frame
second.
rate, yeah.
So it's like as long as you're able to have the freedom to slow something down, and you're not grainy and you're well exposed, it's like
Mhm.
photography.
Yeah.
It's like almost the
Mhm.
same.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's awesome though.
it's fun. Videography is a fun thing.
Yeah.
Photography is a fun thing. What do you say, Michaela?
I have so much to say, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I agree. I don't have the patience for editing. Like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
even photography, like, when I started to, like, get into it, I don't know, it's just, I don't
Takes
know.
a long time.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah,
Takes a
it
long
does.
time.
And, like, when he edits videos, like, I just sit there and watch him or hear the video over and, like,
Over and over and
yeah,
over.
I just, like, how does he do it?
I
Yeah.
feel like there's
I
less
just can do
pressure
it.
being a videographer.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
We had
Because
talked to this guy we did a wedding with, and he used to do weddings for photo and then started doing video. And he was just saying like how different it is as a videographer because like you don't have that pressure anymore of like having to get every single shot that somebody wants. And-
absolutely. We made this point the other week with Shelby and Colby is with that. I think just like physically videography is harder just
Yeah.
because like I just have all this equipment and I have to like run and mic people and deal with audio and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
And, like, my arms hurt by the end of the day.
Yeah, the
But
equipment.
I'll definitely take that over. Someone made a good point about this the other day that I was talking to. I think everyone has an idea of what a good picture looks like.
Yeah.
Not everyone has an idea of what a
Mhm.
good video looks like.
That's so true.
Right.
Because you can make a video a trillion different ways, because there's a million different songs you can choose, there's a million different ways you can sequence it.
Yeah.
Everyone has an idea of what they want in a picture, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much a video. And you're absolutely right. Like, when, for example, after the ceremony, we're getting all those family shots and stuff, you need to get every single shot and deliver it. I probably need like one or two of those, to be completely honest.
And those are, like, even though they're not our favorite, those are some of the shots that are
Super important.
they have to be there.
Yeah.
Even like our couple, they might be like, oh, well, that's not the most important part of our day. It's the other whatever they want. But those
that
are
photo is
still like,
missing.
yeah, if those photos are missing, even though they say like that's not the most important part of our day. If we missed like one family grouping, like that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've had little scares where it's like I'll shoot those people just in case, because rarely there's a time where someone will ask like, hey, could you actually get a clip of my mom in there? And I always think to myself, it's fine that they're asking for that, but you don't really deliver whole videos to people so
Yeah.
they can see that one clip of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And so I'll definitely still get it. But there's just been like little scares where like, oh, did I get a clip of them? And they're usually way more forgiving because,
Yeah.
again, it's a video.
It's a video.
So it's like, if you had it, great. If not, but I usually avoid that altogether by just getting the big group
Yeah.
shot
Mm-hmm.
and then making sure I have that.
We'll always just make sure that, like, beforehand, if there's anything specifically that's very important to our clients, they have to let us know, because we're not mind readers. We don't know what is most important to you. And like, one thing we like when we first had started out, like come Mother's Day, we'd get the messages like, oh, did you have a photo of me and my mom by myself? And of course they want it on Mother's Day because everyone's posting their photos with their mom. And we used to just go off of like a list that they would give us, like, I need my immediate family, I need this and this and this, but we wouldn't break it down as much, like mom and dad, or like bride and mom, bride and dad, bride and sibling, like individually. When we first started, because we were just like, oh, well, if we get the big groups, that's cool. And now we will get everything individually, because
Right.
I don't want to miss
anything.
something that they are expecting. Even like maybe after the fact, they might expect it. So we will, like, even if they don't want it, we're like, hey, let's just grab one of you and mom together by yourselves. Like, we always make sure to grab those really important shots, because I
It's
mean,
just not worth it to.
yeah,
It's just not worth it to just, I mean,
it takes a second on the day. It could take hours after trying to like
Figure
Photoshop
it
stuff
out.
together.
And it's not
Exactly.
the same because that
Yeah,
never actually happened.
never actually happened. Yeah.
so, one of the things that I noticed about you guys, obviously from the get-go, was that you guys have like, and it's like, I want to preface this question in a way that's like, I don't know, appropriate, or you guys' following is obviously pretty good, right? When it comes to maybe the people that are trying to build that on their own, and not to say that they're trying to build it, because I talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago, is that one of the problems I feel, and I only got this one other time, was that when I was starting videography, for example, obviously my following wasn't big, and I kind of try to market myself on Instagram more than anything. I think that's where most people go for that kind of artsy stuff, and when they're looking for their wedding vendors and stuff. Was that, I knew that my value reflected my prices accurately, but not so much the following. And not to say that your following kind of dictates or validates anything that you do, because you are as good as you are.
Yeah.
But I remember getting like one email saying, oh, why are you this pricing when such and such has this following and is cheaper, kind of
Oh.
thing.
Interesting.
And that was kind of disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
and not
yeah.
to say that, again, you need to build a following, because everyone that has the following that they do definitely deserves it. Like, you guys' stuff is amazing, and I think your
Thank
following
you.
definitely reflects that. So when it came to like building it, was it like difficult, or were there certain tactics that you had to do in
Yeah. I think a misconception with Instagram is
Right.
that gaining a following is easy,
it? Mm-hmm.
because the amount of like tears I've cried over Instagram and like emotions that we've it's gotten in between our relationship, it's gotten in my head, like it's not easy at all. But it always is like, I don't know, it's hard for me to hear when people are like, oh, I just can't get my following. I can't get my following to grow, but I hate being on Instagram. I don't want to have the negativity. I don't want to be compared, but I want the following. So, it was the hardest thing ever, and it still is. Like,
She's come a long way. Johnny runs the Instagram
Yeah.
pretty much all the time.
for, I don't know, maybe last year I was really focused on, I wanted to build our Instagram following because I knew that, like, it sucks to say it, but it can validate you for certain people.
Right.
And that's kind of just like the harsh truth. I mean, yeah, it sucks that there's some photographers that are incredible that because they don't have as big of a following, like somebody might choose to go elsewhere, but that's just the world
And that's
we
just
live
the
in.
truth.
Yeah, sadly,
Right.
it's the world we live in. So, I was like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate myself to Instagram, and we're gonna make this. It was like 2 years ago. The goal was to get 10,000 followers that year, and we did it. We did a few things to like get us there, just different shoots we did and whatnot, and we really worked hard to grow it. And then that next year was like, okay, let's take it from 10,000 to 20,000-ish. Like, it was just double the number. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna post every single day. I'm gonna post really great content that people are gonna want to see, and I'll figure out what people like and what they're coming back to on Instagram. And it truly like messes with your head, because the same way, it's like if you look at your personal Instagram, like the stuff you're posting, it sucks that we live in this world where we live in an Instagram world, but like if you post a photo that does bad on your personal Instagram, like you post a cute photo of yourself and you're like, okay, this is a great photo of myself, and then no one cares about it, then like as much as you want to say like, oh, I don't care, like a little bit of you cares, and then you take it to like
For some people.
your I don't know, I think they
For a lot of people.
for a lot of people
For a lot
I think
of people that are on there actively, it's just
Yeah.
human nature. At
it
this
it's
point.
sad, but like that's just the world we live in. And so then when I would look at our work, and I'm so invested in our work, like it's not just photos, it's like your emotions, your relationships with a couple, like everything of us is put into these photos. And I'll have a photo that goes up and I thought it was the most incredible thing ever, and it gets no likes at all, and then in my head I'm like, well, what the hell, like I thought I did an incredible job on this photo, and no one cares about
Isn't
it.
it always funny how it's like what you're most proud of is like,
Yeah.
it's always like the
It's
photo
always,
that's
I swear it's
worst.
the opposite. And so
Yeah.
I was having to do that. I did it every single day. I posted every single day for a few months. And I really saw that it helped a ton. We were getting anywhere from like 100 plus followers a day. It helps a lot. But on the other side, every few days, I would be having to like, I would sit and get depressed over our work. Just like, why can't I get why can't I do it this way? Why can't it be like this person's? And I'd compare myself.
Johnny went through a really hard season of just comparing, and it was hard not to, because she's on Instagram and she's running it, and she is looking at other people's work.
It sucked. Like,
Yeah.
I just think this is a whole thing that people pretend to not talk about. And like, it's a real, like, you're a photographer, but you're also a person behind your Instagram, and you can't like fake it, you know?
And you're exactly right. As people that kind of, I'm glad we're being this honest about it, or this honest about it. I thought it's like sounded like dishonest, but I'm glad we're being this honest about it. Just because as people that really, I mean, that is our like streamline of like marketing
Yeah.
to people. And so naturally we work a lot on it. Naturally we work hard to be on there and to post stuff that's going to be
Yeah.
intriguing to other people. And that's just kind of like the other side of it is that, you know, and as unfortunate, I guess, as it is, like when people don't like what your job is, or basically what you work hard to achieve,
Yeah.
it's disheartening.
Exactly.
And it's like, and you see other people, and I'm sure they're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's like we just can't help but compare because they were just human beings.
Exactly.
And we're just on the site where everyone's stuff is great, you know, such and such is better than such and such. I'm this in comparison. It's just like what naturally just goes through your head.
It's just us as people. And it's like, Instagram is just, I mean, it's literally a fake world. Like,
Yeah. It's like a virtual world.
yeah, you don't know like what's actually going on behind an Instagram account. And like, I will say, like, all that work that I put into our Instagram, like, yes, a lot of it sucked, but a lot of it, like, on the other end of it, we have doubled our Instagram, tripled it this year.
Which is where we get a lot
And
of
where we're
our
getting all of our
inquiries
clients from.
So it's definitely been
So it's
worth
like,
it in a
I think
way.
that's the like harsh truth behind it all, is that like, it's not easy to get that following, but like, all of that shitty stuff aside, like, it has helped our business so much. And we have met so many incredible people from Instagram. Even just, like, people we know now in real life. Like, we met you through Instagram. We meet tons of people online, and have created real relationships in person. And then had couples that we have connected with that way. And so, yeah, it's a lot of hard work. But now, like, so when I went through, like, that whole season of just, like, really focusing on Instagram and it kind of taking a toll on me, we hired a girl on to help me with social media. So her and I would, like, make a schedule, and then I would give her the schedule of photos, and she would post them for me. So I took about a month or two, maybe, where I was posting it, but she was the one getting on the app. So that helped me to, like, refocus and remember, like, why I'm doing this. That I was able to focus on our photos and our couples and less about that while still doing it. It was just, I needed that disconnect where it was like I wasn't the one looking at it.
Yeah.
Someone else was doing it for me. And then after that 2 months, I came back and I was able to, like, I don't know, that was maybe like...
Well, and I think that too, so Johnny went to a workshop as well.
Yeah.
And not that it wasn't a good workshop or anything, and we don't do a lot of them, but this particular one, she came home feeling really refreshed.
I was just, like, validated as a photographer.
It was relieving for me as well, because I wasn't having the same struggles as her as much, because I don't really compare myself with other people.
I think it's
try
just
not
like
to
a thing
care.
as a woman. It's just like,
and you know,
this is what it is.
And she was struggling so hard, and it's so hard for, like, me as a husband to see that.
Right.
And she went there and was able to, like, validate herself so much. And
it's all the, like, doubts and everything that I had. Like, I was able to realize, like, you're doing this, like, just the same ways, like, the people that you're learning from are. Like, you're doing this right. Like, you're good at what you do. You can do this. Like, stop comparing yourself and just do what you have been doing forever. And just, like,
it's hard to get out of your head, I think.
But yeah, I needed that.
But she
to,
did,
like,
and it's been, since then, it's been a while, and it's been so much better.
And now I can, like, go on Instagram and, like, post stuff and just, like, not be so consumed with the comparison side of it.
That's cool.
And I think that, like, it's a thing where you just have to, I don't know, just, like, it comes in waves, I think. I think that a photographer might go through a season where, like, they feel like they're on top and they're really confident, and then there might be a season where you feel comparison and not as confident in your work, and you're wondering why you're not getting the bookings, and I think it just comes in waves.
Right.
And I don't know, I just, like, I like being just, like, transparent with this stuff, because I think that it's a world that no one wants to talk about.
Right.
Like,
It's
no one
almost
wants to talk about all their
it's
struggles they have with their business, like, as a person.
Well, and it's like, I don't think it should be as taboo, definitely, as it is, because it's definitely something that, you know, and there's a lot of people that go through it now, considering there's way more Instagram shops, personalities, vendors, photographer, videographers than ever before. So there's a million people. And I think it'll be refreshing for people to hear you say, because, like, for example, on a plane of a million photographers, such and such of those just starting, or 500 or 600 followers, whatever, I mean, to hear that you also have, you know, deal with it at times.
Yeah.
For sure. It'll be
absolutely. And I guarantee I'll deal with it again in the future.
Right.
Like, it's just, that's
we
life.
always question things, even right now.
We always question things. Oh, I can't see it. I think with starting out with, like, a lower number of followers, Instagram's always changing. There's the algorithms and whatnot, and I think people will say, like, I can't get anything because of the algorithm. Like, I truly think the algorithm's there to help us. We just have to figure out how to make it help us.
Right.
Because I don't think
you just got to figure out how to work.
I don't think the people at Instagram are like, what can we do to mess with the photographers? Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. I think that there's a way to make it work, and you have to just figure it out. You have to figure out what your Instagram followers are liking, what they want to see, and take care of the 500 to 600 followers you have.
Right.
Like, sure, you might not have 50,000, but you have 500 to 600 people who care about you. So take care of them.
Right.
Like, do what you can to get them so stoked about you so that they'll tell their friends about you and they'll come book you for their wedding. Like, do what you can to collab with people that they can show, like, they're following you if you do a collab together. It's just, like, taking baby steps to slowly, like, get your name in front of people is how you start. And
Right. It's like work, it's work has been work, marketing has been marketing since whatever, even
Yeah.
before Instagram. It's
Yeah.
the same concept.
Yeah.
You get your name out there, you work hard to make relationships with other people, whether it be a number on a website or an app, or whether
Yeah.
it be the actual amount of people that are interested in you. It's essentially
Yeah.
always been the same.
it's always been the same concept.
Just how
it's
you
just
reach them.
on a different platform now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Isn't it crazy to think that Mark Zuckerberg
Seriously.
is like in charge of like this whole little thing
So
called
crazy.
Instagram? Like the nerdiest guy. I was talking to Smith McKay
So
the other day.
crazy.
Like Mark Zuckerberg of all people is like he owns like the coolest.
He owns
trendiest-
Facebook, he owns Instagram, and he's just a dude in a...
Yeah, but you made a good point before, because even though it Instagram is what it is, I feel like there's definitely a lot of positive stuff, especially when it comes to, because I think a lot of argument people will make is that there's a big disconnect because of it, and then the flip side is, well, there's also a big connect because of it,
Yeah.
because again, like you said, there's plenty of people you would have never have met had it not been
Absolutely.
through Instagram.
There's plenty of people you never would have, like, I feel like even just, like, places in the world that people never would have seen. Freaking
Right.
Horseshoe Bend.
Yeah.
Like, it's Instagram famous now. Half the
Right.
people that have
Became
been there
so
wouldn't
big
have
from
known.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
There's so much negativity around Instagram, but it's like, there's a lot of great stuff that comes out of it, too.
Yeah.
There's always just going to be, like, a
It's a
downside.
free
to it.
marketing tool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how mad can you be about
I
that?
know. And it's just anything. Any person can make something out to be good or bad. It just
Yeah.
depends on how you use it and how you
Absolutely.
look at it.
Yeah, and I just really think that there's so much success that can come out of it, but it's not going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anything.
It's just gonna require work.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we live in a world where everyone wants everything to be handed to them,
Yeah.
for sure.
but you can't.
And also the misconception that, for example, maybe a big following or a nice lifestyle was given to someone just
Yeah.
because it's portrayed as such on Instagram,
Mhm.
when they don't see the behind the scenes
Yeah.
or the years it took to get there.
And did you
Right.
know that people can buy followers on Instagram? Like
I did know that, yeah.
some people, like, you don't even know. Like, their following could be fake. You'll never
Right.
know.
Well,
like,
unless you look at their
I mean, you can
likes.
kinda figure
It'll be
out.
reflected
You can figure
on
it out in
their
their
likes,
likes and
probably.
stuff. But that could happen, and you might not even know.
But then they can buy likes.
Yeah.
So they can just be spending lots of money.
And,
just every so
like,
often.
For no reason. but-
We literally live in a world where we think that everything is real on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it could be, or it might not at all.
And a lot of time it's not.
Yeah.
And
There was
sometimes
this
it is.
photo that was like this beautiful first look photo that it was like the most gorgeous reaction from this groom. And I remember looking at it and being like, wow, like, I cannot believe that groom was that excited.
Uh-huh.
And that first look photo is everywhere.
Yeah.
As like a expectation for what your first looks are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even real.
I know.
So
And it's hard, yeah.
I don't know. I just think that
It's a smoke and mirrors game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of magicians on Instagram.
yes, it's very true. It's very true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I try so hard to like make sure our Instagram is like, I don't know, a good, friendly place to be.
It's a
Well,
good
yeah,
kind
we
of
don't post
place.
negative stuff,
Well-
but that's intentional. Like, just that's because people don't want to hear you complain about things.
Yeah,
or,
you
you
have-
know, you don't want them to.
You want to be a
And you
good
guys
place.
are, you know what, and also something super refreshing about you guys and nice is that you guys, I mean, at least to me, I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but you guys will actually like message me back and like be interactive with people.
Yeah.
I've messaged plenty of other local photographers and stuff that, you know, have a big following, 20, 24, whatever, and they're just like, they don't even like just talk back to me, and it's like,
I'm
I
always
guess you're
like,
just
please
too
message
cool.
me. I like talking to people on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I guess when some people get to a certain following, they're too cool. I don't
I don't know.
I mean, we get. I mean, like
I do lose a lot of messages sometimes because I don't look at
we
my
get.
unread stuff.
Sometimes there's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to keep up on them.
But yeah, I always, if it's something like,
But we always
I
like to
always
help
try and get
people
back.
if we can
Right.
because
yeah,
we,
people did that for us.
I mean, we're so grateful for the help that we received when we first started.
Yeah.
There's some people that we reached out and, they're not people we like keep up with so much now, but we're so grateful for them like taking the time to sit down with us like at coffee shops and like meet with us and tell us kind of maybe where to get started and like things like that. And there's some people we have to thank.
Yeah.
They gave us like lots of really good advice.
They just like
But
gave us a kick in the ass.
there's
and we're
this
like, go
world
for it.
of like photographers where they're like, I'm not going to give you free knowledge, free education. Why would I tell you this location? And everything's so secretive.
Yeah.
And there's just so many people out there trying to start this business and they don't even know where to begin. And if they have a simple question or, need some advice, why not
Always
help out
give it to
someone?
'em.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
like, what are the odds of them coming and like overtaking
right.
you?
It's
And
like,
like,
kind of, not-
it's like,
Hopefully it'll help them,
yeah, it's like not that you're worried about any kind of threat, but
No.
like it's
Exactly,
not they're
yeah.
gonna come and like you're both going to be pointing at the same wedding. Like,
Yeah.
I want that wedding, and then
Yeah.
like, had I not given you
Had I not
tips on,
given you the info?
right.
Yeah.
And I understand like a top secret like location
Yeah,
or
if
something
it's
like
something you
very,
worked really
very,
hard
very
to
unique and you had to
find or-
scout it out, But if it's like somewhere kind of generic or something,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no harm in
Throw-
telling
throw
someone
a
how to
bone.
get there.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
We're
cool.
all about helping people, for sure.
For sure. Well, unless you had anything else you guys wanted to talk about in particular, it's something that's
We've
Talk
said
about
it
all
all.
sorts of random stuff, but
I know. I think we've said a
any last
there's-
minute tips or advice to either photographer, Instagram person that wants to grow. I don't
lot.
know.
Whatever spot you're at, just like try to just put like blinders on. I guess like as you're
Stay out of your
trying
head as
to
much as you
stay
can.
out of your head and like just take good photos. Like just focus on serving your clients, taking great photos. And I don't know, I think that's like above everything, like that's what this job's about, is serving the people that you're
making art.
a part of their lives in. So you're there to document a really incredible time of their day, and like it the Instagram stuff and all that, like even though it's a super helpful tool, like above everything, it's just take good photos and
Just
take
take
care
good
of
pictures.
your clients.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wise words from Johnny herself. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Garrett.
This was
What's
so
your
fun.
guys' last name again? I forgot. I'm so sorry.
It's Burke,
Burke.
but mine's still
Johnny,
Alan
yeah.
because I'm
Legally, she's
haven't
stubborn.
changed
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. Let's give you a round of
Thank
applause.
you.
Everybody, not just me. There you go. And we'll see everyone back on the podcast next week.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay.